Hello and welcome to my review of the Adeptus Mechanicus Skitarii Marshal from Games Workshop. Now this model will cost you £18.50. He is an HQ unit and quite refreshing for a small HQ unit like this to be £18.50 and not the typical £21 that some armies are getting their HQs for. And I'm talking about Necrons, I'm talking about the Palatine for Sisters of Battle. So it's quite nice that it's £18.50 and not past the £20 mark. Of course, it would still be great if one of these was £12 or £15, something like that. He comes in a clamshell pack. No doubt you probably would have seen my unboxing a couple of months ago, but now is the time for me to review him. I will give you a close-up look at the model. I will go through some size comparisons with other Adeptus Mechanicus miniatures, and then we will go through his rules. Now, it's important to note that you don't get any options with him whatsoever. What you see is what you get. It's probably one of the reasons why he's priced the way he is. You know, some of the other HQs have different heads, different weapon options, things like that, but not this one. So let's have a close-up look at the Skitarii Marshal. Very reminiscent of, well, Skitarii Vanguard, really, him leading them. We'll discuss the similarities a little bit later on, but I like his head and his face, the helmet, the cloak, the awesome looking power sword, this gauge thing, this rod of office. The mould lines are an absolute pain, as you can see. There's probably still a couple that I need to sort out in that cog and in the cog of his head. He's got the radium Serpenta pistol, and he's also got the control stave as well. He's got his tactical rock there. He's got studded greaves, I want to call them, and he's got a load of mechadendrites and cables sticking out. There's his power plant. He's got a servo skull attached to some cables on the top with transmitters as well. He really is like a beefed up buff version of just a Skitarii Vanguard, really. And if you've got like 20 or 30 or more Vanguard, then he's going to look right at home amongst them. So size comparisons then with other Adeptus Mechanicus models. So this is said Vanguard model with I think an arc pistol and a power sword on the 25mm base. As you can see, just from what I've said, he is a souped up version of one of these. They share the aesthetics there with the cloaks and the cogs and the helmets in some respect, and the same with the radium weapons. So he's a fair bit bigger than just a normal Skitarii Vanguard. Next to an engine seer tech priest, he is, yeah, taller, same size base, but he is taller bit in all areas, both with the height and even with the servo arm helping the engine seer. Compared to an actual Tech Priest Dominus though, yeah, this is where things get interesting. Tech Priest Dominus is a fair bit taller, more augmented, and the Tech Priest is also hunched over. Everything is just a fair bit bigger. And just for the size comparison, let's go through comparison with a Cataphrome Destroyer. So yeah, he's not quite head level, barely shoulder level to these. So if you've got a few of these destroyers, then that's how he's going to measure up. Compared to the other Imperium models like Space Marines, so if you're going up against Space Marines or you want to have Space Marine force as allies or vice versa, then yeah, compared to a normal Space Marine, he is taller in every way. Compared to a Primaris though, it's close, but the Primaris just beats him with height, not including the extra bits and pieces attached to him. The Primaris is taller, so he's still going to hold his ground even amongst some Primaris as a model that's height wise. And obviously Sly Marbo is much smaller. I'm not sure whether they're going to increase the sizes of normal Imperial Guard and things. I might replace Sly with a Deathcore model. So this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Skitarii Marshal. I think what Games Workshop have done in recent times is they've taken the success of the Space Marine Lieutenants and they've kind of applied them to other areas of armies. You've got the Royal Warden for the Necrons, you've got the Palatine for the Sisters of Battle, and now you've got the Skitarii Marshal for Adeptus Mechanicus. He is an HQ choice. He's nestled between the Techno-Archaeologist and the Tech Priest Engine Seer. They're your main three kind of small HQ units for Adeptus Mechanicus, the Techno-Archaeologist, the Engine Seer and this Skitarii Marshal. I must say the Skitarii Marshal fits in the best with your Vanguard and your Skitarii Rangers than the other two. It will set you back a power points cost of a 3 and a points cost of 45 points. Very, very cheap there. Just so happens to be the same points cost as a Adeptus Sororitas Palatine. His stat line reads: movement of 6 inches, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 3, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 4+. Very similar to the Palatine. I think the Palatine's stat line is better though. The Skitarii Marshal is equipped with Radium Serpenta and a control stave. So the Radium Serpenta, it's a pistol there. It's a range 18 inch, assault 1, strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. Not very good at all. Each time an attack is made with this weapon against an enemy unit, excluding vehicle units, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 automatically wounds the target. So that's your trade-off, is that you're going to be hitting on a 2+, but you're probably going to be doing hardly any damage. However, if you do get a 6 on that hit, it's going to wound it regardless of the toughness. So that's quite nice. The control stave, it's a melee weapon. It pluses the strength by 3, so he's now got strength 6, AP -2, damage 1. That's all right, but the main reason you're going to pick him up is his abilities. He's got Doctrina Imperatives, Control Edict. In your command phase, you can select one friendly Forge World Skitarii unit within 9 inches of this model, or you can select one friendly Forge World Skitarii data tether unit anywhere on the battlefield. Until the start of your next command phase, that unit ignores the depreciation effect of the currently active Doctrina Imperative. So that's a very useful ability there. Servo Skull Uplink Aura. While a friendly Forge World Skitarii core unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can re-roll a wound roll of 1. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, the Palatine. And then finally, Enhanced Bionics. This model has a 5+ invulnerable save. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Mechanicus, Skitarii, Infantry Character, Doctrina, Assembler, Skitarii Marshal. In terms of an actual unit, I would say the Palatine is better because she does have a better weapon skill. She's got a power sword, she's got a plasma pistol, she's got a better save, and she's got the invulnerable 4+ save, which is not a light thing to ignore either. But in terms of abilities, you know, they share that re-rolling wounds of a 1, but this Marshal has that Control Edict. If you don't know much about Adeptus Mechanicus, the units, core units, every unit in your army that has the Adeptus Mechanicus keyword, including Agent of the Imperium, Unaligned and Knight of the Cog, its characteristics are modified depending on which Doctrina Imperative is active for your army. And you've got a number of them. They've got optimization and depreciation. So just for example, the Protector Imperative, optimization is improve the ballistic skill characteristic of the models in this unit by 1, but the depreciation is reduce the weapon skill of the models by 1. So what that means in game terms is if you're using this Skitarii Marshal within 9 inches, it doesn't have that depreciation, so it's just going to get that ballistic skill improved by 1. It's a useful ability, but you've got to be within 9 inches, or you can pick your data tether anywhere on the battlefield. Now there's a lot of units that can take the enhanced data tether, which means that you don't need to be within the 9 inches if a unit has that. So very, very important, does help buff some of the core units without that depreciation debuff. So I just want to make that extremely clear. What do you guys think of the Skitarii Marshal? I love it. I want to see more kind of named characters for Adeptus Mechanicus. I want to see Mechanicum from Forge World move over to 40k as well. That would really you know, motivate me to pick up a Mechanicum army soon. Please do put your thoughts and opinions of this Skitarii Marshal in the comments below, and keep sending Games Workshop those emails to make the Techno-Archaeologist model available to be bought separately, like myself, because that's what I'll be doing. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.